What is going on YouTube? This is Acid Root. So I'm gonna review the second album by trap rapper 21 Savage as far as these fairs gonna happen. Basically, this project is called I Am Greater Than I Was, and it came out in the late fall of 2018. Now, within the fairs behind it here, particularly 21 Savage doesn't actually have an ass load of albums as far as this fairs gonna happen. It's kind of within the pitch. He has some degree of projects within those tones, but some of these are kind of spin-offs and things like that between like collaboration mixtapes, pitches like that, and collaboration albums. Now, particularly, he did drop a project in 2017, which I reviewed 20. He actually dropped a series of projects in 2017 as far as was physically out. But I look after here, I reviewed that particular one that had the hit song on there. I reviewed 21 Savage's 2017 album, which had the lone single on their bank account as far as was first going to happen way back in the summer of 2022. So I wanted to get to some further type fairs within this because I am going to start catching up with 21 Savage, some of these type pitches. He dropped a collaboration album with Drake recently in the early 2020s, pitches like that. He dropped like an album in early 2024, some of those type fairs within the pitch. He has some other recent type fair within the pitch as far as like a collaboration album that he did with Offset called Without Warning back in the day. I'm going to get to that one within time as far as this pitch can happen. But this is some excellent type pitches because this is like the true follow up to his 2017 album, which is called Issa Album as far as this fair can happen. So excellent within the pitch. Now, particularly within this fair, trap music was we're still on the uprise as far as this fair can happen. Not to say it's not nowadays, but just kind of the pitch that it definitely had like vicious trap album after vicious trap album within those ordeals. Now, fair about this album, it does have some guests on here within these ordeals, but they're not designated as full bounce. It's kind of the pitch as far as saying this is the product of just getting towards the aspects on here. Schoolboy Q is on here, Gunna's on here, Post Malone is on here, some folks like that. City Girls are on here, Offset's on here, his cousin Young Nudi's on here. So some excellent type pitches within these ordeals as far as these products going to have. Childish Gambino's on here, so excellent pitches like that. J. Cole. So this kind of has the pitch as far as saying basically like a classic as far as those ordeals going to happen. Now I look after within the tone as far as these products going to happen. Now, particularly when I reviewed Issa album back in the summer 2022, I was a little bit more stark within the aspects of like of how I gelled and vibed with things as far as this was going to happen. But I definitely think nowadays I'd probably recommend a lot more. I remember from what I thought of Issa album from 2022 was kind of the pitch as far as saying it was kind of a ghostly type project, and that's the same fear about this particular one. Is this kind of has the aspects like some dead type vibes just from the pitch as far as saying it's real gassed and zombie like as far as it's first going. It's definitely within the pitch, just like a good lean kind of trap type music within those ordeals. And this definitely has some spec. It's definitely a pretty shrill type album within those pitches. Now I remember Ti saying not too long ago when he was talking about like 3 or 4 or 5 trap albums that were in his rotation within a recent type fair. I don't know if it was 2022, 2023. I don't think it was 2024, but Ti basically said that this was one of those albums. He said that 21 Savage's most recent album, which prior to 2024, this was his most recent album in terms of the albums that were actually albums. So it's kind of the pitch that Ti was rocking along to this particular jump for a good while in like the early 2020s, pitches like that. So it's kind of particular fair now, despite the fact that 21 Savage is from Europe, he has resided in Atlanta within those pitches as far as those first albums. So he is definitely a product of ATL hip hop pitches like that, say within those ordeals, and he is kind of a product of like further type product within the aspects as far as some bite as far as those pitches. So it's just excellent within those pitches as far as saying that. It's kind of some good type fairs of getting Atlanta type hip hop within the aspect as far as like an alternative to the usual type heavyweights, like around, especially around that time when you think of like Atlanta heavyweights that were kind of past like 2016, 2017. Once you get past like Future and Lil Baby, some of those type folks, I definitely feel like 21 Savage is definitely one of those type folks. Now it's unfortunate that he did not follow up this particular album for a good several amount of years as far as his first album, but he did put out like a certain patch he did put out like a certain patch of albums. I want to say possibly he went to prison. He got kind of like jacked as far as his physical. I'm not to say jacked in terms like a jack move, but just kind of pitched like he got caught up in the court system because he was from Europe as far as this was going to happen. Something to that particular type variety as to why he did. I mean, the pandemic had happened in 2020 as well within some of those pitches within the format. It's just kind of fair as far as saying what particularly. I mean, this one came out at the tail end of 2018, so it's kind of fair as far as saying didn't really drop in 2019, and 2020 was the pandemic. So it's just kind of ordeal as far as saying, but it's just kind of pitch. I question if he did drop some mixtapes, some of those type products, but it's just a pitch as far as saying classic album here within these fairs. I really like the composition of it. It has a little bit more promotion compared to previously within those ordeals. This one has 2 singles within those pitches, so it's just kind of product as far as saying, but it's just kind of the ordeal. One of which, particularly the song A Lot, has over 1 billion plays on Spotify, so this was kind of a big deal around this particular time when it came out. Definitely one of the central type ones that was seemingly making a lot of noise. I feel like within the pitch behind it, 21 Savage did have the domination from what I remember around those particular times, but I was paying The reason why I don't have more full bound kind of cogent memory of these particular times when this album was dropping around late 2018 was just for the fair I was paying attention. This particular YouTube channel is kind of getting back on the rebound as far as this was gonna happen. I was getting into folks like Broken Side and Deuce, and so I was getting into folks like Broken Side and Deuce more, and Cut Calhoun and so on, so folks in the pitch. But it's kind of fair as far as this pitch. It's kind of fair as far as this pitch can happen. But yeah, this album had 2 singles. To just being able to say within those products, particularly a lot, like I was saying, had over 1 billion plays on Spotify. So I'm going to check and see the chart appeal about this particular song, because you would think it was pretty massive within those pitches. Yeah, this is a top 12 single in the Billboard 100 pitches like that. And then Monster, the second single, is a top 75 single. So it's kind of within the pitch. That one's not as large within the full boundness, but still the ordeal as far as saying. So a lot's like a new era kind of DJ drama mixtape soul to kind of get within the aspects of it here. Just a glaze kind of cruise around, I would definitely say within those pitches. Just some Popeyes kind of grand stroll as far as this pitch kind of have. So just definitely picking up some grub pitches like that, but just kind of the appeal. Kind of some grand type appeal pitches like that. Definitely some Popeyes type music. Definitely reminds like Bun B, Project Pat, Juicy J, some of those type folks in particular that would have those Cadillac type cruise outs, pitches like that, lowrider type music within a tone of just like Dayton Spoke Stones type pitches within formats of typical kind of southern type music. A little bit more ghostly this time within these aspects, definite type tone within those pitches for something. I mean, the typical type fare usually this song has similarities to like International Players Anthem by Outkast and UGK as far as those pitches. Same within that pitch, not quite as soulful and as blissful as that particular one, but that same sort of relative kind of gliss within aspect. Just not as full bound kind of cheery within aspect, just a little bit more spectral, a little bit more spectral and gas, but excellent type of appeal within those pitches. Just pretty definite shrill type bop within those pitches. Definitely deserves the 1 billion plays on Spotify pitches like that. So excellent type ordeal. Monsters, the second single, is another high grade type one. It's like a ghostly and illuminative kind of drap song. Monsters like a ghostly and illuminative Dracula kind of trap motions kind of get here within the products of it. Just stunt some, I would definitely say here, just some new air gleam as far as this is going to happen. So kind of a relative, more or less 1-2 punch with like a lot as far as this is going to happen, but just within pitch as far as saying. It's a nice leery pizzazz as far as this is going to happen, but definitely a good, nice one to stunt some same sort of pitch as like the particular pair. This was not quite as bravado like as a lot is within those pitches, but definitely within the form as far as that same particular type of appeal within the pitches of like. It's kind of a floss type song, chunk up the deuce, chunk up the devil, horns pitches like that within some type aspects as far as those tones can happen just from the pitch of just getting crunked a little bit within those particular type tones. So just miss the pitch, not quite as a little bit more loosened up, but still within the pitch of just saying some aghastness. Definitely like the tone. So it's just the pitch as far as this album. There's excellent pitches within this album as far as these fairs going to happen. So within the pitch, as far as saying really the only song. So originally I was going to say I only recommend 14 out of 15, but I do recommend all 15 of the songs on here. So easy 10 out of 10 like I was saying. So Letter to My Mom was the song I was thinking about not recommending, but within the pitch as far as the excellence of this song as far as this fairs going to happen. So I'm going to talk about this one and get this one towards it. Because I recently decided to recommend this song. It doesn't have a description about it. So it's within the pitch as far as saying the particular fair about this song is just kind of the spectrum as far as saying it's kind of a more house cleaning type one within these pitches. There's another one that kind of has those relative type aspects as well as kind of a more ruminate type one, particularly Ball Without You as far as this goes. But definitely some of these type ones are just more in like the DJ drama kind of 2000s mixtape type soul pitches like that. It's kind of a more homebound kind of personable type fare within those pitches as far as just like food for thought and pitches like that, dedicated to mothers, pitches like that. Dedicated to fam and mothers as far as those fits gonna have excellent within the pitch as far as those fits gonna have. So just within the pitch as far as saying, but just the product as far as getting towards some of that type product. It's chunking up the deuce and kind of being like hell yeah within some of the pitches, but it does kind of have a gas up tone. So I like the pitch as far as those tones kind of have just excellent within the fair as far as nailing a particular vibe. Normally within the fashion, you would think it'd be a little bit more. This particular album has a good edge type factor, and that includes some of these personal type songs within these pitches as far as these fairs kind of excellent type pitch. So speaking of Ball Without You, it's another nice one that's pretty similar to Letter to My Mom as far as these fairs going to happen. This is like a drifty and lyric kind of homebound extra thought to kind of get here, ruminate some pitches like that, toke some also just good slump type song within those pitches as far as those fairs going to happen. It's kind of extra thought to kind of have some smoke in your system, fairs like that, just kind of within product to homebound typeness, clean up the house, so and stuff, fairs within the pitch, and just getting some to clean up the house pitches like that, get some errands done within the particular fairs, just like neighborhood bound type pitches like that. So it's good type product for like the particular being fastidious and productive as far as those fairs go, but just within the pitch, just more homebound typeness, just within a slump type fashion, excellent type ordeals. A and T is a nice one. Ass and Titties is a nice one as well. It's like a jarring and kind of sparky turn up to kind of get within the products of it here. Just get things popping, definitely within the fair behind it. It's definitely a more chatty type song, just small talk and meme kind of noise within some of that pitches, kind of the product. This is City Girls back in their early kind of late 2010s type prime pitches like that when they were particularly kind of red hot around those particular ordeals when they had a lot of gab pitches like that. It's a good bop to kind of have within these aspects. So this particular fair, definitely more chatty divas with the aspect. Just not so much chicken head type vibe, but just kind of pitch of just like clucking going on as far as this first guy. I'm just miss the pitch of this gab that kind of has a little bit more like a lasso to it within those particular type of ordeals where it's not just simple kind of dredge and unwind it within those particular fairs as far as this pitch can happen. So dismiss the product of this after hours type spices within the product as far as this first happens. So dismiss the pitch a little bit more jump. It's just good type product for having that particular product, just having like some good jive. Break the Law is a quality one. This starts off kind of hellish and erratic, I'd say, within the tone's behind, and then it switches later on to like a slump, kind of a gas retire. So it's just kind of pitch as far as saying just a good type fair like that. Particularly is more demonic than pitch. I definitely like the aspect. Gave me some vibes to JJ Demon Stones type folks in the pitch as far as saying just the product. I do like the particular fair 21 Savage having some of these type of songs. I want to say he had songs like this on the Issa album from 2017, pitches like that. It's just kind of fair. We're probably about 2 minutes or so into the song, particularly it switches to like more kind of after having some smokes in your system, just kind of product of just like starting to get a head trip and just being like kind of woozy and like, whoa, gotta slow it down a bit within those particular products, just from the aspect as far as those songs have, but definitely pretty rompish within the tone as far as just having like a good buzz about some of those type fairs within it. Out for the Night's a real vicious type one as well as like a new era kind of DJ drama venturous type night shift prowl. I'd say with the aspects for these songs that happen. It's got some strip club glaze. The song's kind of some strip club glaze as far as this first game. So this one particularly goes along with a lot, but just more within the fashion, just like out and about, kind of within a city town type fashion. Something like Cameron, Ghostface Killer, Kanye West would kind of do more within the pitch, just more Atlanta trap type sound within pitches like that. The song Out for the Night is just some strip club glaze as far as what's going to happen. So definitely within the pitch as far as saying within the particular product about it, just kind of the fashion as far as getting towards like the fair, just like DJ drama type shit pitches like that. But it's just kind of the product as far as just getting like just out in the prowl, just kind of missed the product, like some socialized, just in the product, like starry kind of bright city lights pitches like that, kind of missed the fashion. Now, it seems more New York kind of bound, more within the fashion, just more kind of skyscraper bound pitches like that, more so than like neighborhood crawls pitches like that. But it's just kind of the ordeal, just like some neighborhood activity, just in a more demon type aspects within those tones as far as this pitch can happen. Good type fair. All My Friends is a quality one. This one has Post Malone on here as far as these fairs can happen. This like a good Malaise kind of pop trap offshoot of Rockstar, I'd say, within those pitches. Kind of Post Malone returning the favor pitches like that for 21 Savage hopping on. Rockstar back in those days getting a #1 within those particular fairs just the year before. So it's excellent type pitches. Now Post Malone and 21 Savage give this particular song like a good 4 o'clock p.m. kind of Walmart musicness kind of get within those fairs. So Post Malone's pretty typical with doing like Walmart type music within those aspects. It's this good type product. Again, 21 Savage on that particular fair, just some particular dredge for like 4:30, 5:30 pitches like that within those ordeals, just picking up like red cups and Bacardi at like Walmart selling type pitches, and like getting like napkins and cake mix as far as those fairs apps. Excellent within those ordeals. Can't Leave Without It's a nice one as well. It's like a head shop and Larry kind of after hour grind to kind of get within the products of it here. Just definitely some dap for this particular fair about this song. Nachos and some ketchup as far as what's supposed to have. Not say ketchup like the food ketchup, but ketchup with your pals, some of those type pitches. So it's the product. Kind of just within the same ghostly type tone, but just more in a head shop type sense where you would pick up like incense or just have like some shopkeep kind of combos pitched like that. Just like some folks that own a store or some of those type of products that just some socialized within those fairs. So it's kind of the fair more or less kind of late shift kind of pawn shop type music within the pitch as far as those ordeals kind of having just picking up like something from like a shop pal if you do have some buddies that have like some shop zone pitches like that. So just the ordeals for those late shift kind of hours. And main goal Padlock is a quality one. It's like a gauzy and foresty kind of neighborhood and Taco Bell romp. I'd say with the aspects of it here, just getting blitzed pretty hard as far as those pitches have. So just miss the product. There are a good assortment of songs within these pitches as far as like the product of just like neighborhood type crawls pitches like that within the fair of just either Popeyes romps or Taco Bell romps, Arby's romps, those type pitches. Just having like the neighborhood smoke type fashions is pretty trendy to like late 2010s pitches like that. So it's definitely the ordeal. Thing about 21 Savage is definitely is kind of within its own lane. He's not jacking particular folks around this time. He's not really jacking Future or T.I. or Jeezy, some of those type folks that were legends around those times around that area, or Migos, some of those type folks. Kind of the pitch that he had his own particular sound within a real gas type sense, definitely had the tone, just like some real shrill type stuff that's pretty excellent with his excellent type pitches within it as far as what's first gonna happen. Now ASMM Another good example of that is ASMR within these pitches. That's a good, nice name for a song as well. When you think of YouTube videos that have ASMR pitches like that, it's like a getting turned, like a hollow kind of graveyard shift kind of aspects within those tones. As far as those pitch can have just a trap. It's definitely some good trap buzz, I'd have to say here. Just a neighborhood jump pitches like that. I would suppose about it. Just some snacks, some of those type fairs. Just picking up like bugles nearby, just some outdoor kind of snackage. Some of those type fairs have a swisher in your ear. Some of those type products smoking a little bit within those tones. As far as like the extra aspect, Doritos, get some Cool Ranch Doritos, some of those type pitches, and just Fritos, some of those type aspects in the tones. Just some heavy munches and just smoke type fare, cherry coke, some of those type products in the pitch. So excellent type fare. Gunsmoke is a quality one as well. It's like a frenetic and haywire kind of mess hall burner to kind of get within these aspects here. Just hella blunts, I would definitely say within the pitch bond. It's kind of some house party hammers as far as these pitches can happen. Yeah, but Gunsmoke's definitely pretty frenetic and crazy type one within those pitches. Definitely like the haywire and overall blitzkrieg type of feel about the one. It's excellent type ordeal with real hammer type niche. With real hammerage pitches like that, I'd say this excellent type appeal and blitz about it. Real hammer type of feel and craze about it as far as what's going to happen. Then I'd say for life's a nice one as well. It's like a swamped and morose kind of trap torment to kind of get here. Just a hell of stoned and red eyes kind of late shift go around as far as this pitch can happen. So dismiss the product. This one goes pretty well with songs like Gunsmoke and Padlock, some of these type ones, and ASMR, some of these type pitches within the format of it. This particular fares within these aspects as far as these songs going to happen. Good foresty type vibes for some of these type of pitches, and just like Taco Bell runs and pitches like that, just within the neighborhood type Johns. Probably other type shit as well within those pitches as far as those tones gonna have them. Definitely like some head shop type fair pitches like that. Hit up some places, just get like some incense and some fairs like that. Just get some shopkeep and just water pipes or things like that within those ordeals as far as those pitches. I'm just staring kind of late night combos within places that would be more awake and like the graveyard shift hours pitches like that. So good type tones. I think Atlanta would definitely have some places like this. Probably other type places as well, depending upon how popular the town. Definitely good for some demon time romps. Good Day is a quality one as well as like a militant kind of ghostly march and trudge. I'd say within the aspects of it here, just some demon time kind of feeling alive. I'd say within the aspects of it here, as far as these spirits can have just good path, definitely some feeling alive kind of passage. I'd say within these products, just an overall hot type one. Yeah, so Good Day is very dirge like and militant within those pitches. It's no real gas type one that has a ghostly type feel that just really nails the vibe about it. Just really like the tone of that particular hollowness and this pitch is like the accent type trudging as far as those spheres gonna have an accent type pitch. Then 1.5 is a nice one as well. It's like a housebound kind of turn up and smaller tone kind of buzz, I'd say, within pitches like that. Just TV on, just some white noise sounds type ordeals, kind of Popeyes type music within an aspect, more homebound, just munchies, standard fares, simple kind of gab. Pretty much like the more mellow type version of a song like Ass and Titty sounds that pitches. It's less kind of full bound, kind of hot chick. And that's kind of full bound, kind of hot chick, starlet, diva type fare within pitch, but just more miss the product that like some lays around within pitch as far as what's supposed to happen. Just the basic kind of mellow type noise in the product, just more homebound typeness. So there are some ones, as much as this album has the spices, like some product just within neighborhood type fares pitches like that for Taco Bell runs and pawn shop runs, so type pitches like some turn up as the aspect as well of like some homebound type ones, like Letter to My Mama 1.5, some of these type ones within the pitch. Songs like Ass and Titty, some of these type ones, Monster within certain senses, some of these type fares within the pitch as far as those tones gonna happen. Ball Without You is homebound as well within Sunny Side Fair. So this kind of pitch as far as I now within the full bound typeness. One thing I did notice about this album is it doesn't have as much a full bound kind of house. This particular album doesn't have like a full bound kind of nightclub blitzer within these aspects as far as these songs have. But other than that, it basically delivers on all fronts as far as those pitches have. But it's just the pitch as far as saying there's enough neighborhood type activity where it's just kind of more localized and house party type fashions within those pitches as far as having the red cup. Walmart runs pitches like that, has a couple minor makeshift type tones within those pitches, kind of the format as far as saying it's definitely some Atlanta type fare within the pitch, but it definitely advances like the era. This is pretty central. 21 Savage definitely in the forefront of late 2010s trap pitches like that. So it's kind of like a good forefront of pretty much he seemed like he was in one of the big threes at one particular stage, the other like Atlanta trap music as far as those fairs gonna have. So excellent within those pitches, just being able to get towards that. Not sure if the baby was from Atlanta, but he might have been. Seemed like likely he was within those pitches. Was just kind of fair as far as saying 21 Savage was definitely a staple. So 10 out of 10 score. Social score I'm gonna go ahead and give it's either 9.75 or a 10. I think I'll give it a 10 just because the aspect the quality is on here, but it's just kind of pitch as far as saying minus like the Post Malone song and maybe like a lot, the DJ Drama kind of mixtape soul type song and the song Monster, some of these type pitches. It's kind of the fair as far as saying this is more social media bound, more Instagram bound pitches like that, Snapchat, Twitter, some of those type places with an aspect or X as far as this goes, but it's just with them pitches first. And it's not like it doesn't have the furor about it, but just in terms of like the commonplace of like above ground kind of rumblers that would be more amidst like the fashion and not just particularly hardcore within the pitch. It's kind of fair as far as saying it's excellent, but in terms like a commercial type great, in terms like a commercial type breakthrough or a radio in terms of like a commercial type breakthrough or like a nightclub type song within the blitz type appeal, something that's like all over like sound systems and rhythmic radio pitch like that didn't have it as full bound. It's just it's within pitch for saying this album is a classic within those tones. Definitely recommend the blitz type appeal. Easy enough to kind of see the dynamite that this album particularly kind of has. Definitely some original type stuff, the spectral type stuff, the aspect, the gasness, and the overall neighborhood crawls pitch like that. It's definitely original. Lane has some products like some shrill type factors that nail it pretty heavily within these aspects. It's the tones for saying. Gonna give it a 10 social if I didn't say that already within those pitches, but particularly as in terms of the future, like 21 Savage has dropped a 2024 album pitches like that. I think he might be working on something with Drake, not as full bunch of what he's been up to in these recent times. So it's kind of fair as far as saying he does have some here and there type projects. Otherwise, he does have some other type projects within the sense of behind. I do want to definitely get to Without Warning with Offset, some of his pitches, but this is an easy kind of classic and just full bound kind of gasness that works pretty heavily.